Hi, everyone. Hello and welcome to VisitsCeylon Live. This is Geeth Wijerathne
Everyone,
joining in live from Sri Lanka. It's a delight
everyone.
to have with us. We have Mr. Dinesh Jayasanka, who's a senior hospitality personnel, joining us live from Anantara. Thank you, Dinesh, and welcome on board. Then we have Mr. Indika Nagaswatte, who's also joining us. Again, live from Gold, Sri Lanka. He's also the senior management team for the Sidro management as well as a senior hotelier. Then we have Zayan Gunawijayah joining us live from Germany. Thank you, Zayan. He's also just finished his MBA and he's a future prospect for the industry. And we have our team from VisitsCeylon, Anil, joining us live from United Kingdom, as well as Faizal joining us live in Sri Lanka. So thank you everyone for coming live. And then it is indeed a privilege to have you all. So today's discussion is about the current global situation as well as the future of tourism industry. And let me allow us to share the live telecast, and then I will going to come live to you all. So whoever comes join us, thank you for joining in, and let me go to Faisal again and then ask what is the current situation in Sri Lanka and what's happening in Sri Lanka and what you can say about the situation in Sri Lanka.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I Boan. Thank you, everyone who joined on live on board and who is gonna connect, join with us online around the world. Yes, in currently in Sri Lanka with pandemic situation, the COVID-19. Uh, Basically, for the travel industry, there is nothing much. There's no travelers coming to Sri Lanka from around the world, and also locally Sri Lankans also they are not traveling anywhere much. And with that, with the situation in Sri Lanka is there is 18,000 cases there. Then that recovered like 12,000 plus people. Then there is like 5,000 plus people is under quarantine, and 66 deaths for the moment. It's cannot say good or bad, like with the current situation, it's a global issue, not only in Sri Lanka to say it's not nice, we are doing pretty much better than the other countries. When you take neighbor country, India, or other countries in Europe, they have the numbers are huge than Sri Lanka. But in Sri Lanka, the first day we government and the health department and also with the forces, they have done a great job. And also now they have involved with the second wave and doing great job. So in Sri Lanka, it's not closed like a country-wise, not shut down or uh, closed. Not no one can travel like that. So it's like if you find somebody from positive person, they take him like to the PCR, then take back to the quarantine center. If it is a family, yes, they take the family to the quarantine centers. If not the person only, they take to quarantine center. Then of course the family gonna be for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They're gonna be house quarantine. And also at the same time, I have to inform that mention that uh, when it's a situation, it's like that. It's Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka, they are not closing whole country or whole district, or they partially they cover the area. Like if you take one district, not the whole district closed. It's that village they close it. Then the others they can keep day-to-day operation. Operation mean the people who can go to work, they can go to work, and that particular area only they uh, like put like curfew or something. If it is like that, so people are not moving much. Even Sri Lanka, that's the current situation in Sri Lanka. Yeah,
All right. Thank you, Faisal. Thank you for your valuable comments and then the feedback on the ground on Sri Lanka. I will go live now to Indika. Once again, thank you for joining us. And Indika, with regards to travel and tourism, what is the
Thank you.
ground situation in Sri Lanka? If I may ask, what's happening with regards to tourism in Sri Lanka?
Thank you, Geeth. Actually, ground situation here, mainly in the tourism areas down south, which I can see. To be honest, nothing moving at all. But people are very positive now. Now the COVID second wave situation successfully under control. Therefore, people are very positive looking at the tourism upcoming seasons, like within 2 months or 3 months. So they are very hopeful. I can see most of the hotels. They are doing renovations, adding additional inventories as well to their hotel. Reason why I'm telling constantly, we are talking to the as a travel agency, we are talking to the DMCs and some senior managers in the travel industry. So their comments also the same. They are very positive and they are looking forward to even though it's very quiet now, they are looking forward to have a good upcoming season. I know we can't get that much volume, same we did last years. Uh, so that's why they are doing like a lot of campaigns. Like recently, they have done Sri Lankan SLTDA done few campaigns recently compared to wildlife and social media campaigns to encourage the local tourism and the give the idea to the foreigners as well. The ground situation is very quiet here
Mhm.
right now. Before the after the first wave, we have noticed a lot of local tourism,
Mm.
especially down south and the other areas like Anuradhapura, Kataragama, um, and down to the Arugam Bay, and those areas were very active with the local tourism. Now again, it's stopped with the some travel restrictions from government. The few
Mhm.
restrictions, but for the upcoming, they are very positive. And we are looking forward to travel people, and what we are getting from the information from the DMCs, they are selling the same thing. They are getting inquiries, and with the new travel restrictions, and what they are trying to do is they are going to do as much as promotions to promotions related to wildlife, adventure, and others to promote the Sri Lanka right now. Yeah,
All right,
that's the
Indika, thank
ground
you.
situation
Thank
here,
you.
Geet.
Thank you indeed. It's a detailed description of what's happening at the ground level,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for explaining in detail as well. I just want to thank Madhura Vijay Singh who have liked us and currently online and watching us. And then I saw Shalika Surya also joining in live, and rest of you whoever is there with us. Thank you very much for joining in, and indeed it is an always a delight that we have you watching us live. The next question is for Anil. Anil is joining us from UK. Anil, what's happening in United Kingdom and what is the situation there?
Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for getting me in. And so basically, United Kingdom it's under lockdown from November till December 2nd. Yeah, the hotel and like
Hello.
accommodations and guest houses not permitted to
Keith,
take the guest in unless they are homeless people or
is there
in
any technical
cash and
issues happening
state.
again?
So like people is stuck in any city, so they cannot travel, so they can only meet your hotel in that place. Other than that, we are not able to do from the house unless you do setting.
Anil, you are not that clear. Can you come a little bit closer to the laptop? Or
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. Can you give me please now?
yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
sorry for that. So I will just telling the people that uh, UK is under lockdown from November 5th till December 2nd, where the hotels and guest houses and the accommodation are not permitted to take people. So basically, it's only used for the people like homeless or somebody stuck in that city. So they will be using that hotels. And other than that, we only can go out to shopping or US centers as well as for your work. And if you are able to work from home, so they advise us to be home and do the part. And nevertheless, the schools are open. So that's one thing. And because they believe that the kids don't get influenced by mostly with the COVID. So I think that is the reason. And other than that, country looks like more silence than the normal, and the people are only really following the guidelines I can see everywhere. So other than that, leisure centers, sports facilities such as swimming pools, tennis, basketball courts, golf courts, and those areas are closed. So that's the update from UK. So we are waiting till December 2nd to to reopen the country if everything goes well. Thank you, Geeth.
All right, thank you very much, Anil, for letting us know what's happening in UK. And then Insaf Sala is sending us a comment, as well as Madhura Vijay Singh saying, giving us all the best wishes. Thank you, Insaf. He's reminding Indika as well as Dinesh as well. And yes, indeed, I think it is good that UK have taken steps that they have kept the schools open and everything is open there, so that the young people are not going to get affected by this pandemic. The next question is going to Zayan. Zayan, what's happening in the Europe? I think I just got to know that you have traveled few countries within a week
Yeah.
or two.
So I born in the so after this second wave, they are connecting with the people who is living in Sri Lanka. So when I was in Spain, in Barcelona, Barcelona is very risky area. The Spanish government, they have mentioned, they have informed the Barcelona to the Spanish people not go for the outside for the any reason. For the only emergency reasons, they can go outside. If we are going for the restaurants, we cannot stay inside, or we cannot dining inside the restaurants. Only we can do the takeaway. And what people are doing, they will go outside for only for the special reasons. If they have to buy something goods or something, they will go out. So same thing in Schengen countries, what they are doing for this pandemic situation. So same thing in Germany also, because they also, we cannot gather with the people. Only minimum two families can enter for the inside the every houses. So that is the rule of the German government. And the Barcelona also same, because Barcelona is the second destination, the second famous destination in the world. Many tourists are coming to the Barcelona to see the many attractions. There's a many attractions that they can see in Barcelona city. And how their reaction for the this uh, pandemic situation, they're giving some rules for the every tourist, and the guidelines how they can, what they can do for this fun for the pandemic. They have many rules. They have to go from every each rules, because they have to wear the mask when they are going inside to the places and the restaurants and the everywhere, because every tourist, they cannot feel the real Spanish like a tourist, because of the pandemic. So many people are doing, but uh, during the this pandemic, uh, we cannot say anything to the tourist who is trying to come to Sri Lanka. We cannot say to the people, you can visit to Sri Lanka like and this, but everyone is telling to us, let's see to visit Sri Lanka after this pandemic. So that's the thing they are telling to us.
All right. Thank you, Zayan. There's a question coming out from Lahiru Veerasingh, our good friend, joining us from Oman. Thank you, Lahiru, for your question as well as joining us live. The question, I think I will put it to Anil and Zayan. He's asking what is the current quarantine measures in Europe, and does different countries have different procedures across Europe? Who would like to take that question?
Actually, Geet, it's depend with the country that we are coming, because before 1 month ago, our race Dinesh also came from Sri Lanka. So he also came from Sri Lanka to Barcelona. So there are some questions that he have to fill the one of form to give the authorizations of the health ministry and everyone. So he have to mention every place that he's planning to go, and where are the places that he's going to stay. So he have to write down on that form, and he have to submit to the airport authorizer. So after that, he have to give the every update every end of the day. So he no need to stay quarantine if he is a negative patient. So if he is negative, so if he is a positive, so he need to stay 14 days quarantine.
All right. Thank you, Sayan. Do you want to answer that as well, Anil? Quickly.
Yes, please. Yeah, UK government really following the guidelines. Whoever coming to the country,
Anil,
so they have
sorry,
to
Anil, we can't hear you clearly.
is it clear now, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Right. So the UK government is following guidelines very strictly. So whoever coming to the UK, they has to go 14 days quarantine period at home. So that is must, and they are checking their status, like if they really following the rules. Thank you.
Okay, and we have comments coming in from Kumar, who's joining us live. Inoka De Silva. As per her, I think she's answering Lahiru's question. It is different around Europe, and then again, Insaf Sala is saying that in Maldives, the guests have to provide a negative PCR test within 72 hours. So, Dinesh, once again, thank you for joining us. And the question to you is how tourism could recover from the pandemic, and what your experience so far with regards to the pandemic, Dinesh?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I believe tourism can recover gradually, not in one step, step by step. That first thing we need to understand the situation and adapt. And the discipline of the people is very important, and also the rules and regulations. So, and the good news is, last Wednesday, the drug maker, the Pfizer, informed they have manufactured drug which is 95% effective with very few side effects. So that is actually very good news for everybody. And plus, most of the countries now slowly opening their borders and the gates, and especially the Maldives is now open, and they recently uh, marked the milestone of 2,000 daily travelers, and it's also the must is negative PCR test, and also now antigen is there. So there are so many things coming up. So I believe the future is positive. I think we have to suffer, I think, more than another 1 or 2 months. From 2020 on 2021 onwards, I believe everything go back to normal gradually. So, as a positive note, that we need to get used to this. We need to adapt to the situation. We need to live with the coronavirus for some time, because even the vaccine come out, not everybody going to get it, as fast as it's possible, because it's coming from Europe and it will take time to reach Asia and other countries. But most of the Asian countries is a positive. The good thing is we have our own remedies. We have our own immunity boosters. We have our own medicines. The Ayurveda is coming up, doing very good job in Sri Lanka, because no one is mentioning those things, but all the treatments is given to the patients is Ayurvedic. So it's only depend on the how fast is the government going to open the borders. So when the borders open, when the gates open, then there has to be a systematic the way to get the tourists inside the country. So like Maldives doing is very well, and the UAE doing it very well, and other countries like Turkey is doing good. So we need to get used to those things. If we are afraid of the virus, that we will not move forward. So I believe this can recover fast.
All right. Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you for the detailed description of the future and then hopes that you have given us. We have Ruan Gunawardana who's saying congrats to us. Thank you, Ruan, for joining us live, and then all those likes and love that you're showing us is really indeed a great honor for us. We have had a technical issue with Faisal's connection. However, probably he is there listening to us. And since Faisal is not there, let me go directly to Indika. Indika, so what is the role of the community roughly? Plus, what can the local tourism could help the growth of travel industry at the current situation?
Thank you, Geet. Mainly, the local tourism is, we called it here as like a weekend tourism. If you are in the resort, if you are working in a resort in Sri Lanka, so weekends you get a lot of local tourism. It's now with the current situation. Earlier, once the after the first wave in Sri Lanka, we got a lot of local tourists after the 1 month main city Colombo shut down. After reopen, there were a lot of travelers. They came down to the down south, the and the other cities like the Nuwara and Anuradhapura and Kataragama. We have noticed during the weekends, and regardless the weekends also we notice a lot of tourist arrivals, and most of the hotels are fully booked with the local tourism, because that time local Sri Lankans tourists, they played a significant role. Then because of the most of the hotels survived with the local tourists, because after the second wave it has totally changed, because of the travel restrictions. Most of the people going out, like I would say like 65 to 75% tourists from Colombo district going out weekends. So mainly, uh,
Mhm.
so that's after they put the restrictions in Colombo area. So all the, especially I can see down south, all the resorts are weekend. Even the weekends they are empty. So regardless their rates, like they had a lot of promotions for Sri Lankans. The like very reduced rates, unbelievable
Mhm.
rates. We have noticed published, like people never get. I think Dinesh might know, the even though like five-star international chain hotels, they drop the rates to attract the locals. Yeah, that's the local tourism is very important, like the situation, and also the upcoming we have to mention, because the once the borders open, we can't expect that much tourist arrivals. So
Mhm.
we are going to lose a lot of market share from our main segments who are coming from, especially like the India, China, and the Europe and other countries. So still the situation is not good to that countries. So we need to cover from that market segments from the locals. I know the not that much effect, but at least for the help for the community, because the most of the hotels, if you start from if I say the down south from Benthur to Gaul to Meris, and deep down south to Tangol, and further down, most of the hotels, the still they are very silent. Now the hotels, most of the hotels are they are renovating or they are partially closed with the situation, because with the local tourism we can help them, really help them, these hotels and guest houses, uh, to at least to cover their margins. This is really important local tourism. And same time, Geet, we need to mention, follow the health guidelines. That's very really important. The government has imposed some guidelines for the tourist, the local tourist as well. So that's really important to follow that one as well, because it's we need to balance everything. The That's we need to mention here in the local tourism as well. Over to you, Geet. Yeah.
Thank you, Indika, and thank you for the detailed answer as well. And we have a question coming from Deshan Vitanagamage. Before I go to the question, I would like to say thank you to Mudita Jaja, wishing us all the very best. I'll put this question to Dinesh. Dinesh, Deshan is asking, though the vaccine is invented, how long will it take to come to Sri Lanka? And there are pre-planned methods and to distribute it effectively. So the question is basically, if the vaccine is invented, how long will it to come to Sri Lanka, and what is the method that they are using, the government?
Okay, Faisal said that last Wednesday the coronavirus vaccine was 95% effective and had no serious side effect. So company is planning to apply to the Food and Drug Administration for emergency approval within days. So it still is not approved. So hopefully within next week it should be approved to distribute in Europe and other countries. So since being one of the Asian countries, it might take months to come to Sri Lanka. Hopefully, I believe if it is approved by WHO and with
Mhm.
other countries, it should reach us within, let's say, January, February, if our government is efficient enough. So, since the government also trying their best to find the vaccine, I believe as soon as it's approved, as soon as they start manufacturing, as soon as they start sending out to other countries, we can get it out. Probably in February or March.
And Dinesh, since you were in Sri Lanka, there is some strict measurements given to hotels, and then there's a quality
Yeah,
control
the
system
government
that is
has
there.
implemented protocol, which is audited by KPMG audit company. Basically, they will audit all the five-star hotels, then the rest of the hotels, and basically all the hotels registered in tourist board. So it's already audited in Anantara resorts in Kalutara and in Tangol. So there is a lot of procedures to follow. So that is also a good thing because after that they will issue the certificate, which is we need to send to our partners in all around the world. To then they will have clear guidance as well what they're supposed to do when they come to the Sri Lanka and what are the measurements that hotels are taking to ensure the safety of the tourists.
All right, thank you, Dinesh. The next question is for Anil. How's the recovery process in United Kingdom, and then what measures are taken to get them back to normal life in UK?
Uh, Thank you, Git. So basically, the government was doing their best till November 5th to control the community and the people. So not to go into the national lockdown, but they was not able to do that. Mostly the voluntary people and mostly the older people get infected compared to other ages. In that way, so they had to go into the national lockdown till December 2nd, and they are expecting to get back to the normal life since the Christmas is coming. But nevertheless, they still says they not going to announce now that what's going to happen after December 2nd. They still going to take the measures and talk to their scientists and get the advice from them if they can go back to the normal life after December 2nd, which mostly UK people are expecting their life to get back after December 2nd, since it's the Christmas and the New Year coming. The UK, it's a celebrity national life. Their life is like so. Hopefully, and they are still not yet decided what's going to happen, but we will get mostly the news before the week of December 2nd. Thank you, Geeth.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you for insight and letting us know what's happening in UK. And let me say thank you to everyone watching us live, and then all those likes and comments once again. And sorry that we are facing a technical difficulty with Faisal's connection. However, the next question again to Dinesh. How hopeful are we about the future of tourism, and then what can we expect in 2021?
Actually, it's I have big hopes. If I say from India, especially from India, there is a lot of inquiries coming. That main thing is the destination weddings that we used to do. A lot of destination wedding in Sri Lanka. That Anantara Kalutra was one of the best destination wedding place we have done almost 25 to 30 weddings, Indian weddings. So, and other thing is, I think new trend will come up, which is medical tourism. The people will, whoever come in, the visitors, the guests, the tourists, they will look for healthy lifestyle. So the most of the hotel, like for example, even our properties, we have started preparing healthy menus, immune boosters, so many things, and plus the activities. So as long as you active wherever you go, so it's not just a vacation or the tour seeing or the sightseeing or those things. So people will change to that, stay fit during the vacation as well. So the also the European countries, for example, now the Maldives is flooding with Russians. His main tour is Russians. Already there's 11,240 Russians are here. United Kingdom, USA, United Arab Emirates, India, from all over the world. So the Russians, they love Sri Lanka, Russian countries, and also other European countries. And since its winter is started, so it's all depend on how fast we are going to open the borders and the gates and what is our system in place. So we can keep big hopes actually, because we cannot survive from the domestic tourism, especially being the five-star resorts. Anantara was one of the highest rates in Sri Lanka, and we have cut down 65% to attract the local market, but it still is the local market. So also we cannot cut down our standard levels. So we have to have bigger hopes of the European market and the international market. So my hopes are high. So hopefully from second quarter onwards, 2021, we will get back to normal gradually. Over to you.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Dinesh, for your insight. And then let me ask the final question from Zayan. Zayan, how's the people of Europe getting back to the new normal life?
And now the Christmas and the New Year is coming. So before the pandemic, you know how the European people they celebrate the New Year and the Christmas. So now this season we cannot guess how they're going to celebrate this Christmas and the New Year. But when I go to the city and the shopping malls and another the main cities or some business area or some economics area, I can see that there's some people are going for the shopping and they are doing some the things what they did before the pandemic. They are buying some Christmas trees and some Christmas celebratory items and everything. But not like before the pandemic. But however, they are trying to celebrate Christmas and the New Year, and the government they reduce the every cost of living and everything, because some goods, some items they are trying to sell without the taxes and everything. So however, they are giving some chances to the people with the limited celebrations to celebrate this Christmas and New Year. So we can see I can share some information about these things, how they are celebrating. So after that, I think now Spanish government and the German government they have informed not they are taking only limited people to the churches and the mosque because of this pandemic. Um, so now still school is open and the university is open, but they're taking only limited students only for the studies.
Thank you very much, Zayan. I think we have already went down close to 40 minutes. So let me round up, and then I will give the opportunity to Indika. Finally, what thoughts do you have with regards to thanking the audience who are live, and then how hopeful are you for the future before we go to the rest of the panel?
Yeah, thank you, Geeth. Thank you very much, everyone who comment on our live, and we very much appreciate your likes and love. Thank you very much for that one. And additionally, as we all in the tourism industry, we all positive very well, and especially Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan tourism is the third highest. Sri Lankan tourism is the third highest foreign exchange earner for the Sri Lankan economy. That is really important for us, especially from 2021 onwards. No one has given up hope because, as I said earlier, everybody is very positive and hopeful, as we have spoken to several DMCs and senior managers in the tourism industry. As like everybody, they are very positive, and uh, with these new vaccines and whatever is coming, is very positive for us to keep the hope, and we are everybody very positive and looking forward to have a fruitful season for 2021. Thank you very much, Geeth. Yeah.
Thank you, Indika. And let me go down to Dinesh. Dinesh, what thoughts you have, and what would you like to add for the audience finally?
Thank you everybody for joining with us, and thank you for listening to us. And I would like to say that be hopeful, keep the hope up, because this will pass like every other things. Sri Lanka is a very strong nation that we have overcome many situations, and we will look back in future and say, okay, we have faced this attack and the tourism went down to zero. Then after that we were enjoying few months. Then again the corona came. So now we are suffering almost I think over 1 year now, and with the salary cut and the job loss and so many things. So few of us is still fortunate enough to work for international companies and secure our jobs. And one of the minor international is doing very well. Then and I believe the tourism will come back. So we just need to be prepared, because when it come back with all these positive news and coming up, when his comeback is to come like a storm, and everybody needs to be ready to grab whatever chances coming your way. So be ready. The tourism will be back in at least by second quarter.
I think indeed. I think Dinesh, you're exactly correct there. When the tough gets going, when the going gets tough, it's actually tough gets you going, right? So let me talk to Zayan finally, and before I go to Anil to finish up the discussion. Zayan, you being the future of hospitality industry in our country, how hopeful are you for the future?
Yeah, I hope tourism will be recover soon on next year after the vaccine. So I hope many tourists will come to Sri Lanka to see many attractions, sun, beach, sand, everything. So I hope tourists, they will enjoy after the pandemic, because every tourist, the European people, they all year they stay inside the house. So they need some change to visit another country. So I hope it will be happen very soon. Definitely we have to be prepared for everything. As a healthy, we have to stay as a healthy and everything. So we'll be recovered very soon.
All right, Anil. Lastly, from VisitsCeylon part, stay safe, stay healthy. Yes. What would you want to add from VisitsCeylon to the viewers who are joining in?
Thank you. One thing, because I'm mostly communicating with the UK groups for travel, and they, of course, they would like to come down Sri Lanka for the Ayurvedic treatment. So hopefully, once the gate opens, so we will be working with that as well. That's a great news for Sri Lankans. And secondly, I would like to thank you all behalf of the VisitsCeylon team, and I would like to request all of your friends and family if they can give us a support by just liking our page and give some follows. And we are really going to do something for our mother country, as well as we are doing our part to Sri Lanka, mother Sri Lanka. So yeah, I hope everybody, they all want to do something for our country. So that's what we are trying to do, even though we are very small people. So we are trying our best to get the country back, the support what we can give. So behalf of Indika, Dinesh and Zayan, thank you, Geeth, for all the
Thank you.
invitation. And even the Faisal had the challenge of the technical issue. So thank you all. Thank you getting me in. And yeah, we hope best for our future. Thank you.
All right. So thank you, the panel. Anil said, thank you very much for joining us live. It is indeed a pleasure to have you on board. And then let's hope for the best of tourism industry. And then let's stay positive, stay safe, and bye bye from me, Geet, and the team here. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.